Sutra 1.7
pratyakshanumanagamah pramanani.
The sources of right knowledge are direct perception, inference, and scriptural testimony.
Commentary. One example of what Patanjali calls valid knowledge is what you understand by seeing something yourself. Direct perception. If you see something face to face, you don't have any doubt. That is one way to get valid knowledge. Another is by inference. Seeing smoke, you infer there is fire, because without fire there can't be smoke. When you see a cow giving milk, you infer that cows give milk. You have not seen them all, but you assume. And there is one more way. You may not have seen anything personally, and may not have anything from which to infer, but a reliable authority or person who has really understood something tells you. Here we normally mean the Holy Scriptures, which we believe because they are the words of the sages, saints, and prophets. They have seen the truth and have expounded it, so we believe them. That's why in the East, if anybody asks you to do some practice, it is expected that the Scriptures also recommend it. You should not do something just because I say so. Everybody who has gone the same road should approve it, and the ancient Scriptures should also approve it because the truth is the same. It is not something to be newly invented. All our present-day inventions can easily go wrong. What is the best thing today will be the worst thing tomorrow. They are still not finalized. The words of the prophets given through the Holy Scriptures are finalized. They can't just be modified. But even in this, we have to understand the difference between the basic truth and the presentation. Truth can be presented only through some form or vehicle. We should always remember that the truth of the self is the same, but when presented to you through words and forms and modes, it may appear in different ways to suit the individual or the trend of the age. That means rituals can be modified, language can be modified, but the truth can never be changed because truth is always the same. The rites are just the skeletal structures that uphold the outside building, but the foundation of all the rites should be the same. That is why, whatever be the scripture, whether it from the east, west, south, or north, the basic truth should be in agreement. It's something like remaining the same while changing your clothing to suit the occasion. When you go skiing, you don't wear your business suit. When you go to the office, you don't come with ski boots on. Both these outfits are useless at a fancy wedding, and all three are ruled out if you go to the beach. But the person wearing the clothes remains the same. In the same way, the truth in all the Scriptures is the same, but the presentation will vary. If a teacher says, concentrate and meditate, or analyze your mind and develop virtuous qualities in your life, all the Scriptures of the world should also say that. If I say, in the name of yoga, you can tell 10 lies every day, that is the modern yoga, believe me. You can always ask, where is the proof? I should be able to give a scriptural authority. If I cannot, there is something wrong with me. That's why you need not just believe and follow someone or something blindly. If you have any doubt, refer to any holy book. Has the Holy Scripture approved it? If you find it there also, then follow it. So, by all these three ways we get valid knowledge. Of course, whether it is valid or invalid, ultimately you have to set it aside to find your peace. But before we push out all thoughts, we try to analyze them and eliminate one set after another. We can't just throw everything into one garbage pail. When I tried to do that once, the ashramites asked me not to. They said, Gurudev, you have to put the vegetables in one, the papers in another, and the bottles in still another one. Why? The papers can be recycled, but the vegetables go into the compost pile for the garden. So even in throwing out garbage, you can't just throw it into one pail. You have to sort it so that later on it will be easier to dispose of. It is the same way with the mind. You are going to dispose of all the thoughts as garbage, no doubt, whether they are good or bad, right or wrong, so that the mind will be free from modifications. But before we come to that, it makes it easier to dispose of them if we sort them first. Why? Because we still have a little clinging. We can't just throw everything away so easily. For example, when your wardrobe is too full, you may say, "I'll give these dresses to somebody." But by the time you take it to the door, your mind will say, "I think I should keep just this one." See? First it's, "I'll throw out everything. I don't want these things." Then, when your friend comes to take them, you say, Wait, just leave this one for me. I can use it for another year. Let it be." So we have to make use of this attitude. Your mental wardrobe is also full. You want to throw something out, but you don't feel like just dumping out everything. So you analyze. This is painful. It's not necessary. But these things seem to be nice. Let them be. For the satisfaction of the mind, we are trying to analyze how many kinds of thoughts there are. Oh, you are not going to empty me completely. At least you are giving something back to me. The mind has to be tricked like that. I still remember when I was a young boy. My mother used to feed me, and I would make a fuss. "No, I don't want it all." "Oh, is this too much, son? All right, I won't give you all of it." She would form all the rice into a flat disc, and then cut a line across and say, "See, I'm taking away half. You only have to eat the other half." So the other half would be pushed aside on the plate, and she would feed me, and I would be satisfied. But while I was eating, she would start telling me nice stories, and before long, the other half would also have vanished. If by any chance I looked down at the plate before the whole thing was empty and said, "Mother, you are feeding me more. I don't want it," she would say, "All right, son, I'll take away this half." She said she would take away half. No, she always took half from the remaining portion. That is a trick in feeding a child. The same trick can be used in emptying the mind of thoughts. Tell the mind, "All right, you have that much, and I'll take the rest away." After a while say, "This also seems to be unwanted. Let's take this away also." You remove them little by little. That's why Patanjali is so careful in forming the thoughts into different groups.